Hello and welcome into the Knicks-Verse. My name is George, and if this is your first time here or you've been here before but have not subscribed yet, please do so and hit that thumbs up button for me if you like the video. Though I appreciate it, it helps me a lot. And drop your comments. Definitely that. I love reading the comments. Like I've said before many times, it helps me understand how everyone is feeling. Though after this game, I'm sure we're going to have a lot of feelings. Game 11 of the new season. Knicks came back to New York, but we didn't go back home. We went to Brooklyn. And we lost. We got blown out. It was a bloodbath, to put it mildly. Both the offense and the defense did not show up. I have a lot to say about this game, but there are some things that are more alarming at the moment. However, I think it's important that we maintain some perspective. It's very easy to kind of overreact, especially in the beginning of the season, to wins and losses. And right now, this team, we're hearing a lot about, we're mediocre, we're right in the middle. Well, let me tell you something. Mediocre right in the middle is wonderful compared to the agony that we have had to deal with for the past 21 years, except for 3 seasons or so interspersed in there. So let's just keep that into perspective. I know I want to go off. I want to just pull out the blowtorch and just completely go nuts, but we got to maintain some perspective here. All right, let's go to, here we go. So the Knicks lost 112-85. Lowest scoring game of the season for the Knicks. Everything was just disastrous for the Knicks, except for that first quarter, which the team got totally off to a terrible start. The only thing that wasn't a disaster was Julius Randle's three-point shooting. Everything else on this team was a total, utter disaster tonight. In Brooklyn, where was the pride? Where was it? Sometimes you just don't have it. It's the NBA. It's competition. It's competitive sports. Sometimes you just don't have it. The Knicks shot the lights out in Minneapolis, and tonight they just had nothing. They had nothing to give. But when I say perspective, think about this. Imagine the Knicks were rolling this starting 5 out tonight in Brooklyn. Now, the only upside of rolling that starting 5 out would be Victor Wembanyama would be in the chase for that. However, with Leon Rose at the helm and Tom Thibodeau as the actual captain of the ship itself, when they're on the court, the team itself, there's just no tanking. There was no way that we were going to go for a tank for Wemby at all. So, in lieu of that, this is the kind of team. Remember, we had this team, and we got nothing for it. We got nothing for that, for trotting that kind of team out. Well, let's say, I guess we got the third pick. We got the third pick, which gave us RJ. Well, imagine this team even without RJ. So, there you go. We're making incremental progress, and we are now firmly in the middle. Can we get pushed out of the middle? Absolutely. There's a lot of competition in the East. There's no doubt about that. That's why the team cannot take their foot off the gas at all, at any moment, anytime during this entire season. We just don't have the talent to take the foot off the gas and then come back and all right, well, now we're going to take care of business. That's what it is. When you don't have a superstar or an elite talent like that, there's just no one to go to. You'd have to kind of hope and pray someone catches fire. Well, Julius caught fire in Minnesota, so that happened. Brunson's had some great games, not great games, but some really good games. RJ's been coming around of late, but no one's really lit it up except for Julius, except for that one game. However, so the Knicks are now 5-6. 5-6. Painful. But this is the stat of the night right there. The New York Knicks committed so many turnovers, especially in that first half, that it resulted in a point disparity of a minus 15 for the Knicks. That's right. The Knicks in total committed 15 turnovers. So the turnovers were the same. The Nets committed 15, we committed 15. But how we committed them and how we defended in response to that was absolutely garbage. I'm telling you, it was just, I'm sure the players will tell you themselves. 25 points we get. We only got 10 out of the 15 turnovers that the Knicks were able to cause. That is by far the most important stat. Here we go. Julius Randle followed up his very good performance in Minnesota with another statistically good performance. 24 points, 11 rebounds on 4 of 8 3-point shooting. So there you go. His 3-point shot is starting to come around. But that means he only completed 3 of 7 of everything else. That's it. And there were many times where he forced the issue. There was one time where instead of passing the ball on the right, they're on the right wing, RJ and Julius came down. I believe it was just like a dribble handoff or whatever. RJ gave it to Julius, and Julius had a defender out on the wing, and RJ's guy kind of made a step towards Julius, and Julius should have immediately thrown the ball right back to RJ, and maybe RJ can penetrate and then kick it back to Julius, or RJ can take a clean 3-point shot. There were very few in that first half clean 3-point attempts. And the Knicks missed everything, but still there were very few clean 3-point attempts. But instead of that situation, what Randle did was, I'm going to hero ball it. He took the defense one-on-one. He took the defense on. He took his guy on. He was able to get to the baseline, but they they sealed it off. He had nowhere to go. He finally got the ball to Brunson, who was in the left corner, but immediately a guy closed out on him, and he had no space, and it ended up in a turnover. Actually, maybe it was just a poor shot, but it resulted in a bad possession. There were several bad possessions, one after the other, in this game for the Knicks offensively. And then defensively, we were just, once again, leaving guys wide open on the 3-point line. Not all the time. There were definitely times where there was just tight defense, especially on Durant. And it's Durant. He's Durant. He's one of the greatest scorers in the history of all time. Maybe will ever be. So, you can play your best defense. You can play a smothering defense, and he can still score over you. So that's just kind of what happened. The team just didn't look ready for it. And they're here. They're here in their own city. Again, where was the pride? This team got down by 27 points at one time in that first half. Was it in the first half? Yeah. Totally, the biggest deficit they had was 35 points. Knicks never led once. The bench was dismal. Let's put it that way, to put it mildly. Even our usually dependable Obi Toppin, he played 21 minutes, but a lot of that was because of garbage time. 2 of 7, missed his 2 3-point attempts, ended with 5 points, 4 rebounds, 1 assist. Isaiah Hartenstein, 15 minutes, 1 of 2, 3 personal fouls. But again, there's like a moment where the team's kind of making a little run, and then he makes a stupid foul, like a totally careless foul. Those are the momentum killers. It's like the team is not locked in mentally and understanding what the task is at hand when they're on the court. It's very, very frustrating. Very frustrating. Derrick Rose is now 1 for 14 in the past 2 games. He didn't hit any shots tonight. 2 rebounds, 2 assists. RJ Barrett, 30 minutes, 5 of 14 overall. Hit 2 of 4 from the 3-point line, but 5 of 14. That means he only connected on 3 of 10. He was missing bunnies in that first half, in that first quarter especially. It was driving me nuts. I don't even understand how you miss that. Seriously. You're right there. You're right there. It's what you've been. It's the reason you're going to the basket. To put it in the bucket. And then they roll off and you see he's like, oh man, he's all upset at himself. Fuck that. Make the bucket. Make the fucking bucket. Jesus. Pissed. I'm pissed. I'm pissed because now the attitude is, oh, the team doesn't have enough talent. Well, I don't believe that. We don't have outstanding talent. Obviously, we don't have elite talent. I know that. But we have enough talent to win on any given night. We have it. Saying we don't have enough talent is a cop-out. It's letting these guys off the fucking hook. So I'm not taking that here in the Knicks-Verse. We're not accepting that here. These guys can ball out every night. Are they going to win every night? No. They may still end up 500. But I want to see that commitment. I want to see them try to achieve their potential. It's so frustrating. Reddish, no buckets, 0 for 7. All 4 of his three-pointers, nothing. Jalen Brunson's worst game as a Knick, I would say. 14 points, 4 of 14. So our big three were pretty small tonight. I know Randall's stats look good, but you'll see when we show you the turnovers and all that jazz. You'll be like, what? But the final person I'm going to talk about here, before I get to some other stuff, is Immanuel Quickley. Actually, I'm going to circle back. I'm going to circle back for Immanuel Quickley. 20 minutes tonight, 1 of 8. 0 for 6 from the three-point line. 2 points. Look at the plus minus. You're going to tell me Julius had a great game? Nah. He was the worst on the team with a minus 29. Now, he did play the most minutes. He's tied with Brunson for the most minutes. 1 minute more than RJ. But still, Brunson and RJ were a minus 22. Randall was a minus 29. Between the three, they committed 10 turnovers. Brunson, 3 turnovers. RJ, 3 turnovers. Randall, 4 turnovers. But it's not so much the turnovers. Remember last season I was talking about the non-box score turnovers where someone tries to make a play, they try to do too much with the ball. Remember last game I said they kept it simple and it worked? This time simplicity went out the window. They tried to do too much dribble. Stop dribbling. No more of that. Pass the ball and cut. Look for the cutter. That all completely went away tonight. That starting unit was a disaster. And look at even Obi Toppin, minus 19. Quickley, minus 17, which is pretty interesting. Because when I show you, when I circle back to Quickley, I'm going to go through Quickley's year so far. It's interesting that he was such a minus 17 because for the year, Quickley is one of the only, actually he is the only, there's only 3 rotation players that are in the plus of the plus minus column. Now we've played 11 games. So the whole argument, I don't look at plus minus, get out of here with that now. 11 games is enough. You know, when you're on the court and you're being outscored, you're part of it. If it consistently happens, you're part of it. You're one of the causes. Okay, so right now, the leader on this team in plus minus for the full season is Cam Reddish with a plus 0.6. Not even a point, just a plus 0.6. Number two in the rotation is Immanuel Quickley with a plus 5. That's including this disaster night for both these guys, for all these guys. Number 3 is Jalen Brunson. He's a wash. He's at a 0 in terms of plus minus. So The score is, it's just a wash. It's right in the middle. Derrick Rose, he's, decent. But our big guys, Julius Randle, right now, he's averaging 20.5 points per game, 46% shooting, field goal shooting, 35.5% from the three-point line. It's ticked up a lot, which is great. He's at minus 3.8. And RJ Barrett, he's starting to come around. He's averaging 19.3 points per game on 35 minutes, 42.5 field goal percentage, which is not good. The three-point shooting is 30.6, but he was coming around. I showed you that stat from the last recap. The past 5 games, he was up to 43% or something from the three-point line for 5 games in a row. And then tonight he hit, tonight? What was he tonight? It was 2 of 4. 2 of 4. So that even ticked up tonight. His plus minus is a minus 1.7. So Immanuel Quickley, with all that, look at Brooklyn. Durant, 19 attempts, and he came away with 29 points. Tremendous game, and he only hit 1 of 5 from the three-point line. Actually, I will say, can't remember when that was. I think that was in the third, maybe it was in the fourth quarter, late third quarter or fourth quarter. I can't remember when it was, but at one point, RJ got switched on to Durant, and he did bother him enough to kind of just get him out of his rhythm a little bit. And the team fought back. I believe that one time they got the deficit down to 15 or something, and it looked like all they needed was to keep making another run, but they just couldn't do it. Once you get yourself that deep in a hole, especially with a guy like Durant out there. Also, the whole team was shooting. Look at them. They shot 48.3%, the Nets, 41.2% overall from the three-point line, and put up 34 attempts. So, guys were hitting. Seth Curry. Can you imagine Steph Curry on that team? Seth Curry, the brother. Look at that. I think he had he had hardly scored any points all season long, but against the Knicks, he lights us up for 23 points on 6 of 11. Shoot. But the guy of the night, the real hero of this team, of the Nets tonight, was this guy, Sumner. I don't know where he came from. I think he was from Xavier. I believe he's been around for a couple of years. I think he's 26 years old or whatever, but tremendous game for him. 18 points. He was scoring from all over the place. He was getting into the paint, turnaround jumpers, 3-pointers, everything. Great game for him. He's really, he was the starting point guard because Kyrie's out. Because, he's Kyrie. So here we go. Here are the team stats. Knicks shot 32.2% overall. We did put up 43 3-pointers. Only hit about 28% of them. Terrible. The free throw shooting, which had been a nice thing that had been happening lately for this team. We were having games of averaging 85, 90, 83, down to 65.4%. And even at one point during the game, the announcer, I forgot her name, she said, man, right when the Knicks were actually making a little bit of a comeback, we were cutting back and, chipping away at the Nets lead. She even commented, wow, if the Knicks had hit their free throws, this might be a really different game right now. Yeah, would have been. The points in the paint tonight, the Knicks could do nada. 30 only. And I believe we still lead the league in points in the paint. Or we're definitely in the top 2 or 3. Tonight we only got 30. We're out points in the painted tonight. Same with the fast break. All right. One thing I'm going to show you guys. And I'm going to show you something that I saw. You may have already seen it. Our guy Shams was on a show being interviewed, and he talked about the Knicks. So here we go.
One first-round pick away, or a Quentin Grimes away, and Quentin Grimes hasn't played that much this year, but they were literally that close to getting a deal done with Donovan Mitchell. Doesn't happen. I saw a stat last night that the Knicks have given up 1,500 points this season. They've scored 1,500 points. They're 4-4 against the East, 1-1 against the West. They're 5-5 on the season. That's that's basically the definition of just mediocre, solid, middle of the pack. But the way I look at the Knicks right now is they've got 8 first-round picks in their coffer. So when I speak to executives around the league, they're viewing and believing that the Knicks are kind of hoarding those first-round picks, just waiting for that next megastar to become available. For whatever reason, they did not believe that Donovan Mitchell was the guy that they wanted to go fully all in on, which is, ironic because when Leon Rose first got the job there, it was Donovan Mitchell, Devin Booker, Karl Anthony Towns. You have a chance to go get Donovan Mitchell. You choose that you'd rather keep those, all the picks and all the flexibility. And you have to give Leon Rose credit for this. They've built up the assets necessary to when whoever that megastar is, they'll be right there for him.
They'll be right there for him. So they chose not to do it for Donovan. And I think also it was because Danny was just asking for way too much. I mean, way too much. So, but what's interesting here is he said solid in the middle. He didn't present it as a negative. So we've got to get away from this we are mediocre thing as if it's a label of actual mediocrity. Because mediocrity in the NBA, when you have young players, is good. When you're mediocre and you have 32-year-old player, like I was going to say 30-year-old players, that's a disaster. And if you don't have draft picks, which is where we've been, that's been the story of the Knicks for the past 22 years. So this is very different. Mediocre, meaning average in the middle, when your majority of players, I believe we have 9 players on a roster that are all 26 or under. In fact, I think we have, I think it's 8 players that are 25 and under, and then there's a couple that are 26, and then, or actually, Jalen Brunson, and then Randall's only 28. Fournier and Rose are the 2 older guys. Even our backup center that we just signed this summer, he's only 25. So, Hartenstein is 24. He's 24. Yeah, he's 24. Reddish 23, Quickley 23, Brunson 26, Toppin 24, Barrett 22, Mitch 24, Grimes 22. We finally saw a little Grimes, which is a good sign. Very happy that he at least got out onto the court. Because we were worried about him, remember? We were worried about him. So again, that's not mediocrity. That's a disaster right there. And so is this game tonight. All right. Now I'm going to talk about Immanuel Quickley. This is the problem with Immanuel Quickley. Immanuel Quickley right now cannot hit a pull-up 3 if his life depended on it. He's averaging 21.1% in pull-up 3s. And for the season, just to give you guys a little perspective, for the season, he's averaging 25.6% from the 3-point line. That's atrocious. 25.6%. And overall field goal percentage, 33.7%. He's averaging 21.2 minutes, 7.5 points per game. He's averaging 5.3 rebounds per game, which is wild that he's averaging that much. 3.3 assists. And like I said, plus minus is a 0.5. He's in a plus column in there. But his 3-point shooting, his field goal percentage, he's not hitting. He's not making his shots. He's playing fantastic defense. And he's doing his playmaking for other teammates. His passing has been stellar. I would say probably best on the team. I'd throw his hat in there as best on the team right now. What's the problem? The pull-ups. He cannot hit an off the dribble 3 or a pull-up 3 at all right now. But his catch and shoot 3s, he's averaging 39%. So Thibs needs to kind of change Quickley's role for a little while to help him finally start getting comfortable and start seeing the basket bigger. Put him in a situation, put him in that Seth Curry type role. Catch and shoot, catch and shoot, catch and shoot. Just let him catch and shoot, catch and shoot. I think the burden of having to penetrate and play make for other teammates while his shot is not falling, it's a bad combination at the moment. We know it's not like this all the time. We've seen him before. This was the season I was banking on him to finally pop, and he hasn't. It's been very frustrating and disappointing, but I think it's because he's taking too much on himself. No one is making plays for him to make buckets. he's forced to do it for everybody else. That has to stop for a time being until he can start cooking again. All right, now talk about his defense. Check this out. So, guess who's number one in defensive rating in the rotation for the Knicks? Immanuel Quickley. His defensive rating is 100.0. 100.0. Sadly, his offensive rating is 101.4 for a net rating of 1.4, a plus 1.4. So if his offense starts coming around, that could be something huge. So that's an untapped potential right there. Just like last season, Obi was an untapped potential. Obi's living up to it now. He just needs to get more time on the court, And we saw, we're seeing small ball. Now, a lot of this because Mitch Robinson is not on the court, so that helps. We don't have Quentin Grimes. He's the way the team is constructed. We don't have a Burks around anymore. Grimes was supposed to fill that role of the defensive guy on the perimeter who can hit the three and penetrate at times and do some playmaking. Grimes probably will be better than Burks ever was at doing that if he ever finally gets, well, he is getting healthy. I don't want to put it like that. But so we're waiting on Grimes to come. So these are some of the bright spots. I believe Quickley will eventually, his shot will start falling. And the thing is, the defense won't, it's not like his defense is going to drop off. It's there. It's part of him right now. People have been posting great videos analyzing how great his defense is. You guys should check it out. And it's for real. So in a 100 defensive rating after 11 games is for real. And let me tell you, the next guy on there is, well, in terms of getting primary minutes on this rotation, Obi Toppin, 103.1 defensive rating. Now, his offensive rating is only 102.6 for a minus 0.5. Pretty shocking. The next guy below that is Isaiah Hartenstein, 108.1. And his offensive rating is 111.8 for a net rating of plus 3.7. And he leads the team in that. Derrick Rose is number 2 with a 2.0. Derrick Rose has been struggling of late with a shot, but he got off to a great start this season. I believe he'll work through it. I think he's just trying to figure out his new role himself as well. And maybe the age, I don't know. We'll see. But he's only averaging 12 minutes a game or so. So he should be fine. I can't see him dropping off that much, especially how good he looked in the first 6 or 7 games of the season. Cam Reddish is after Quickley in terms of net rating with a 1.2. So there's only 4 guys on this team with a plus net rating. And that's Hartenstein, D. Rose, Quickley, and Cam Reddish. So Quickley has to get it together, man. Has to get it together. His field goal percentage is down to 40.4%. His true shooting, which normally is higher because his free throw shooting is tremendous. True shooting also counts in free throw shooting. It's only 44.9%. All those stats for him are going to go up, but they have to start coming now. And he needs his teammates to help him. He needs his teammates to set him up. Thibodeau has to run plays for him, set some nice picks for him, some nice pin downs to get him free and loose so he can shoot it in rhythm. Right now, he's rushing his shot. It's a little too quick. It's a little too desperado. Also because in his head, he's got Thibs, which is fine, that he's barking in his head, shoot, 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 shoot. Thing is, right now, the off the dribble and pull up is not there for him. Only the catch and shoot threes are there for him. So let's lean in to what's working for him and then let it grow from there. Okay, that's all I have to say about this game right now. I mean, Knicks are 5-6. We win Friday, we're back to 500, and maybe we can win on Sunday. I was hoping it was going to be a 4-game winning streak that we're going to string together, but the Nets were the big one to get past. Weren't able to do it, but let's see if we can get back on it. Win that game on Friday, win that game on Sunday, and be back to 6-5 on Monday. All right, fingers crossed. Thank you guys for watching this. Again, hit the thumbs up, drop your comments, subscribe if you haven't. Go to the Knicks-Verse store. Check it out. Lots of cool stuff. And I will see you around the Knicks-Verse.